which is why we have to make sure of your ability to tolerate distress and regulate your emotions, especially your anger.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or I might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you. So all of this just feels like projecting a lot of shit onto me.
See.
No, I'm doing this.
Okay, this is completely new territory.
That's why we're here. So, how y'all doing today? I'm Ghost in the Craig, and I'm here with my friend Ozzy. And today we are going to be discussing She-Hulk because, man, I was very unsure if I wanted to do like a video on its own about like each episode because they've been pretty fun, or if I wanted to do a more discussion video. And thankfully, a friend here was down, so here we are. But Ozzy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Ozzy. I'm a friend of Craig's, and not a fan of the show. So yeah, let's get things started, huh, Craig?
But we got a lot to talk about here. But so first of all, I was very happy to know that they were going to make a She-Hulk. Like I remember back when I had heard about it, I was like, all right, like, who knows? This could actually be very good. But given the times, I was not very hopeful.
No, I had no idea the show was coming until like a week before it came out. So
damn.
Yeah, I was just like, they're like, hey, you excited for the new She-Hulk? I'm like, what is there making like a female Hulk? Is that what's going on? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, let's check it out. That sounds cool. I saw the trailer, not interested whatsoever, and I was like,
yeah, the trailer's pretty. I feel like the trailer's not very. It doesn't. I mean, first of all, the CGI is like pretty bad, so it doesn't really do it justice that everyone kind of straight out the gate was like giving a crap about the CGI of like, oh, why couldn't you just hire like a better woman to play a role of a muscular woman? Like, I'm pretty sure there's enough in Hollywood. It's probably not that hard to find.
The CGI is just garbage. I mean, it doesn't even look like a Hulk. It looks like a.
They compare it to like Shrek.
Yeah. No, don't put disrespect on Shrek and Fiona. They got too much street cred compared to She-Hulk.
Oh, man.
They got a franchise. What does She-Hulk have? 2 episodes?
Hey, like you said, the sequel. We'll discuss sequel talks of what we think maybe the sequel should do, but the season's not even over yet. But yeah, so, I mean, yeah, like I said, I had saw the slate, and I was just, I mean, there's a lot of shit coming. So at the end of the day, like, there's very little that I'm ready for, but I did have high hopes for She-Hulk because it's a cool character. I mean, she's a fourth wall breaker. She's pretty much like, what, a green female version of Deadpool. I mean, there's no reason that her show shouldn't be good, and it shouldn't appeal to, like, male and female audiences, but for whatever reason, they just completely belittled the Hulk, like, straight out. I mean, you know,
Oh, yeah, no. I saw that. I saw that in the show. I'm like, you know what? Even though the trailer sucks, I've seen bad trailers that ended up being good movies.
You had said you remember the original Hulk. You had rewatched the original Hulk, not the Edward Norton one, but the 2008 one, like the Ang Lee Hulk.
Yeah, it was dumb, but it was like one of those like you got to see it to believe how stupid it is.
But even it's old school, I would say. I mean, like the first.
Just see him jumping over state to state, like what?
Oh yeah.
That was so dumb.
I forgot he did the giant jumps. Oh yeah, he's like flying through the air as he's like. I forgot about that.
How is that not the stupidest part of the movie? That should be like, oh guys, that's the stupidest part. Let's cash in and just make a movie. No, but they were like, no, guys, let's have an explosion. Or the guy's like, and freezes right in front of the screen, and it's like,
Oh yeah, they had it was like the comic book strips, or they had like the whole comic book like weird thing or whatever. Like yeah.
Yeah, you know why regular.
Oh shit.
Yeah, comic books do that, and that's cool. But you know why movies don't do that? Because it's awkward.
Didn't I feel like The Watchmen did it, but what movie? I feel like there's been some movies that have done it, or maybe like I know The Warriors did it. The remake of The Warriors did it. And it was like, but yeah, it's not something that movies do. And I will say, I'm very thankful they didn't do that in She-Hulk. I really thought they were gonna make it like a comic strip, you know, like, and it's like I'm glad they didn't do it because it probably would have been it would have just been over the top.
Yeah, the fourth wall break would have been enough, I would have been fine with that if it was like, good fourth wall break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so SheHulk starts out, and I mean, so originally I didn't realize, but apparently she is in an accident, or she's like mugged or something, and pretty much needs like a blood transfusion, and that's how Bruce gives her the abilities of the Hulk, and he feels bad, and he obviously doesn't want to give it to her because he knows what's gonna happen, but at the same time he's like, she's family and I have to like save her. So, and a part of me also, I thought it was like she had cancer, like I was getting it mixed up with female Thor and stuff, but so in the show, it starts off and, she starts fourth wall breaking and like, she's a lawyer and everything, but pretty much she gets her abilities because a fucking spaceship comes out of nowhere and they crash. And it's the most like, I love movie crashes, right? But the crash is so brutal. And she just like pulls herself out like it's nothing, and like she's all mangled, and then she's like pulling Bruce out. Oh, we got the critical drinker here, with us, but she's like pulling Bruce out, and he's just like, oh.
First off, where did the spaceship even go? It just like was there for the sake of the crash.
Like, the spaceship wasn't like, oh man, like it was an accident.
Just straight up like, all right, I did my job. See you guys in the sequel, whatever. It's like, well, bro.
We'll see you guys in the second episode.
Yeah, and that whole
it's so
crash,
true,
man, dude. What was with that crash? If you lose that much blood, you're not gonna have that much strength to just pull your fucking.
I mean, well, if you see, I think her leg is like through. It's like through the window, so it's like even if she's okay, there's no way she could have pulled him out.
No.
Like, and I would have assumed that Bruce would have like had like a poke out, like he was talking about his like little machine thing on his arm that like helps him or whatever, and it's like staying human form, but it's like after that crash I would assume that he was angry or he had like, and he like, it showed that the machine was damaged, so I would assume that he was like, gonna turn, which I guess he does, but so he's like, she's bleeding, he's bleeding, and she pulls him out, and then he like drips blood on her arm, and I'm assuming that's the whole like, remember she was in the comic, she was like beaten or whatever, so she needs a blood transfusion, so that was the blood transfusion, was blood dripping on the wrist, and she hulks out.
Yeah, it's just straight, and the thing is, that scene would have been fine if they established it like over like 5 minutes, but I think it was like 10 seconds. That whole car crash happens, he pulls her out, the blood goes in, and that it has no the pacing was so bad. I'm just like, okay, so you want me to expect that all this to happen within 10 seconds, and then it takes me 10 seconds to realize, oh no, my blood! Not the entire thing was like, oh no, my blood, you gotta be careful with my blood. It's like, I would have been much better if it was just no crash, because I don't know what's gonna happen with that spaceship. Maybe it's integral to the story. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're right though. I never thought of that the spaceship just leaves. Like, so they crash and the spaceship's like, I'm out. Like,
dipped like a bad Tinder date, man.
Yeah, SheHulk's got a Tinder, so some dates on Tinder probably would be better, if they were green and like 7 feet tall. But so yeah, they get the blood transfusion, and then she hulks out, and so she runs to some bar, or she passes out and then wakes up and ends up in some bar, and of course the whole show is, women are the best. Women are strong, and they can overcome everything if they stick together. Because that's like mainly what happens, is all the women just stick together in this show. But she goes to this bathroom, and she's all like torn up from becoming the Hulk, and all the women like, there's all these like women that walk in, they're like, oh honey, like you need to like put on your makeup and shit. You need to have clothes on, and they're like dolling up in the bathroom, and you're just kind of like, I mean, poor Bruce never had that. Bruce never went to the gym after and was like, hey guys, I just hulked out, I need some help. And I just, you see that car over there? I threw it way over there. I don't know how the fuck I did it. But, she literally just gets help, and you're like, all right, I mean, I guess women are like that. But right after she walks out, and these guys come up, and they're like, oh, what's up, girl? And they're like catcalling her, like, hey, you like going home by yourself or whatever? And then she gets mad and turns around and hulks out, and then boom, like the Hulk like tackles her, and then they like say fall off screen pretty much.
I feel like Marvel writers have had bad experiences because that happened. The same thing happened in Captain Marvel. There's a scene where like Captain Marvel is like looking at a map, and this biker comes over like, "Hey baby, how about a smile?" And then Captain Marvel just straight up assaults the man and just breaks his arm, and I'm all like,
I feel like I've seen that on YouTube maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But it sounds like something she would do.
and I'm just like, wait, how bad are the writers being treated, man? Are they going through this? Like, what? If this actually happens to them, I feel bad for them. But like, if they're just like, hey, what if the women said this? Would that be cool? I'll be like, no, dude, don't pander to us. Don't pander. Don't.
So speaking of pandering, then they go into where obviously Bruce Banner is now back to the Hulk, or he's forever. I guess he's forever smart Hulk now. But I feel like I'm praying that later on in the at the end of the season, he gets hulked out and maybe he becomes the villain, and they do like a whole Wanda shit where it's like, oh, Wanda's evil, so she's the villain. So it's like the Hulk is technically rageful, so now he's evil. But I doubt it. But so now he's got his like what? He lives on like an island and he has like a whole layer or a whole
his whole bar.
His whole bar and like but he has like an underground layer thing that Tony Stark made for him that he lives at. Like I mean,
jeez, Tony Stark had so much free time. If he was here, he was there. He was everywhere. He's like God. He's just always there, even when you don't need.
Oh my god! Yeah, I mean, he made like you have the whole Stark Tower. You know, you have like all the jets and the shit that they flew in. You had the time machine, like everything that he helped build. Yeah, like Tony Stark is the man. How dare you, Riri Williams? Don't you dare discredit Iron Man when you come into Black Panther 2. Don't you dare do it. Don't you do it, Riri.
They're already doing it.
Right? The new toy, they have the new Riri Williams toy. It literally looks like a fucking Wii remote attachment. So I'm gonna call it that she's got some fascination with video games, and then she has like some like crazy Tron shit. Anyway, so they're in this like random underground bunker, and pretty much she just is like a way better Hulk right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like, my boy Bruce spent years.
He had to go to foreign nations just to cope with this. And
He spent years as a monster.
I rewatched the Incredible Hulk, and then he comes back to his lady that's in love with him, and he's like, oh, that's you, and I'm like, oh, that's sweet. It's been years, and then they're finally coming back together. That's kind of cute. I like that little love thing going on. And then it's just like, oh no, I'm just good. Like, like okay. Yeah, do you know what screams great character? No suffering, just straight up, oh, no. Look, check this out. Bam!
I was very surprised that they just made her so matter of fact, like I am better at handling my anger. Not only can I turn back into Jen, I can just be myself. I can just be different types, however and whenever I want. And then the Hulk is like, or Bruce is like, oh, is this jealous I'm feeling? Is this jealousy? It's just like, man, like.
Yeah, you know what was great about the Hulk? How jealous he was of everybody. He was with Thor, the god of thunder, and he was his sidekick, and not once were they ever like, oh, I'm jealous of you, Thor. You were just like, nah, I'm cool. That's awesome.
I guess for what it's worth, you can say that maybe he was like, oh, it's unfair. Mm-hmm. But again, that's that whole like, we know it's unfair. Yeah, it's like bad. It's just straight bad writing where it's like we know it's unfair. We know he was the Hulk forever. Yeah. So obviously we have sympathy, but it's like she has no sympathy. She could give less of a fuck. And it's just like, you don't understand that you're green now. Yeah. You're green and you're like 7 feet tall. Like, people are gonna freak the fuck out when they see you.
There was also one part in that scene where he's like, this is like, where he has this one thing, he's like, and I forgot what it was, but it turns people into the Hulk. Mm-hmm. And he just destroys it. We can't risk this getting out. I'm like, you just risk your cousin who just...
Getting out?
Yeah,
couldn't her blood, like, now infect other people? It's like she doesn't... That's the thing. It's like she gives absolutely no fucks. And it's funny because, they say that... Yeah. The writers said that they didn't care about the blip. And they were going to say that the blip was no longer a thing. So it's like, even if you want to say that people are like, oh, we accept that they're superheroes now, we accept that we went like fucking 2 years or whatever where we didn't know what the hell happened, like, they can say all that now, but it's like, you can't just all of a sudden be like, oh, but the Hulk though, where's the Hulk at? Like, why aren't we partying with the Hulk? He was the best. Like, no one's saying that. Like, no one out there is being like, man, you remember that green guy? Where's that green guy? Like, no, everyone's like, where's Iron Man? Where's Captain America? Captain America's gone. Iron Man's supposedly dead. Tony Stark's dead. Like, no one cared about the Hulk on the level of, you know... because, I mean, personally, I would love a World War Hulk movie, or I would love a fucking new Hulk. Like, I don't know why. They did the origin of Black Widow. There's no reason they can't do an origin of Hulk and just redo the Hulk movie like they've done two, third time's a charm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of unfair.
I feel like that's not going to do anything, though, because they already have the Edward Norton thing, so I feel like... Because here's the thing. They have that Edward Norton movie, which is, you know, it's its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, I did enjoy the Edward Norton Hulk way more than the 2008 Hulk, that's for sure.
I didn't even know it existed until a year ago.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
And I'm like, I'll get to it eventually. I'm like, hey, you're like, hey, you want to review She-Hulk? I'm like, well, now I got to watch the Hulk to make, because, like, I didn't understand who that bad guy was. We'll get
Abomination?
To that later. Yeah, until I saw that. Yeah, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're pretty much having this, you know, this whole fight about, well, She-Hulk, you know, and Hulk are having a fight because she wants to leave. So they have this whole Hulk battle fight. And, like, I'm not going to lie, I honestly thought he was going to either beat the crap out of her or he was going to actually turn into, like, real Hulk again, because I would assume that personality is still in him. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I thought maybe she would have busted it out of him, and then it would have been the whole, like, oh, look, he's being a toxic male, hitting on his female cousin, he's beating her up. That's wrong, brute. Like, you know, but it's like, bro, she's a Hulk too. That's not fair. You can't all of a sudden be like, oh, they're Hulks. Like, you know, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're not Hulks. They're fucking green Navi from Avatar. Like, they're not even Hulks. They're just Navi people that are tanned.
They're just like green giant humans who can lift a ton and drink tons of alcohol.
Oh god, yeah, that whole alcohol thing was pretty dumb.
I was like, okay, so they can drink alcohol.
But see,
so what?
I thought that was ridiculous because they have the whole thing where he's like, oh yeah, we can drink alcohol and not get drunk. But then she drinks the alcohol and doesn't get drunk, and then when she reverts, because she can turn back into Jen, so when she turns into Jen, she immediately gets drunk. Like, it hits her immediately, and it's like, I mean, I get, like, we'll get into it later, but when she talks to her boss and she shrinks down and then she's immediately drunk, it's like...
Doesn't it take time to process that alcohol?
I mean, well, it should take time, but I mean, you would think it would hit her, like... I mean, it does hit her hard, but the fact that it does hit her hard, it's like, I want to say it's just not fair to, like, what you're trying to say, that, like... Even in, like, it's, if young women are watching this, it's like, oh, even if you're inebriated, you can talk to your boss or you can go to work. No, like, anyway, we're jumping too ahead. So they have the fight, and then of course, you know, he lets her leave because he's like, oh, you know, you can just go call me up, and like, if anything is, you'll be okay, because, you know, she can fucking turn whenever she wants. So apparently she'll be fine.
Yeah, this character was just so unlikable because, like, there's points where he's like, hey, I'm looking out for you.
Yeah,
I've been
he's
through
so
this.
genuine.
I'm trying to help you because I've been through this and nobody helped me out. I had to deal with this on my own. And she's like, no, I got my own lawyer things. I got student debts. I'm like, oh boy, student debts. I wonder where this is going to go. Oh wow, Joe Biden, come in, save me.
The whole like, when I get catcalled on the street, when incompetent men in my field tell me what to do, it's just like, God. Girl, like, you know, Bruce is probably 8 people. This fool, like, stubbed his toe, turned into the Hulk, didn't mean to, like in the new Hulk, when he has like how many days without an incident, right? It's like he was just chilling in New Mexico, he stubbed his toe, he got mad, he turned into a Hulk, he fucking broke his incident-free record, and then he ate some little Mexican kid and their family, and then like turned back human, and then had to live with that for the rest of his life. And she's over here like, I got shit to, I don't never get angry. I'm never gonna hurt anybody.
I'm just like, and then like immediately as soon as she says that, she gets angry. I'm like, yeah, you're not hiding the anger that good, dude. Come on.
But that's the thing, since she can not turn into the Hulk, or turn into She-Hulk, she can suppress the, she can get angry just enough without tipping the boil, like, you know, without hitting that boiling point. She can just, and then stop She gets like 98% angry.
Yeah, it's like okay,
which is all the time.
It's like, I can control my anger. I'm like, okay, but Bruce has, had an actual tragic life. He lost the love of his life in Black Widow. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that movie yet.
Right?
He lost his best friend, Tony Stark.
He lost his father.
He lost his mom and his dad. He lost probably his son, which we're gonna talk about later.
Yeah.
And he still has a smile on his face.
I mean, yeah. For what it's worth, I mean, Mark Ruffalo.
Say what you will about Mark Ruffalo. He never doesn't smile. He can never do a sad role. He'll always just be like, "Ha, I'm happy."
I always get angry, but as he turns, he's like. All right, so of course, again, she's just the bestest Hulk ever, and the episode ends with her going back to the real world, which is she's still in the real world, but apparently it feels like that island was like it didn't exist. Like that whole scene should never have happened. That whole sequencing, Namaste, all that shit should never have happened. Throwing rocks and like balancing and shit, whatever. Yeah. But when she gets back and she's in the courtroom, Titania fucking busts out, right? She busts in. And I mean, I thought the episode was going to end, to be honest. I didn't think she was going to bust in. I honestly thought the episode was going to be over. Yeah. But she busts in, and fuck's sake, the fight lasts like, 2 minutes?
I think there's more time deliberating, like, should I not turn into the Hulk? Should I not turn into that? What's going on?
And her friend is like, oh my god, yeah, take off your shoes. Yeah, do it. Turn. And see, that's what I was going to say. The whole Namaste scene of like, that whole shit should have been cut in half, right? Cut that in half. And actually have
a good fight scene.
No, a good fight scene, yeah, but have the friend, the best friend, see her become the Hulk for the first time. Like have her drive to her, like the end of the episode should have been her driving to her house and then showing her that she could become the Hulk, and having her friend like freak out, falling over, like she's in the house, like tipping shit over. Don't freak out, I'm so, like turning back into Jen, you know, and then her friend like freaking out and like having to like console, like, that could have been a whole scene.
I feel though
it could have been comedic and everything. Girl power.
That would have been fun. Yeah, but they don't.
How do you have your period? Is it green?
But there's the thing. They don't want to do that. They don't want to make her look like a fun character. They want to make her look like super strong Hulk who has no faults.
She can't be scared.
Well, they're not gonna have that for come on. They're not gonna have that for the She-Hulk. They're not gonna have that moment. They want to be like, no, we just want to show how cool she is. Look, guys, buy the toys, man. You can be She-Hulk.
I don't even think they have toys out for She-Hulk. I'm pretty maybe they got one for Riri. Not sure if they have one for She-Hulk. But yeah, I mean that would have been so much better just to develop the friend more, because the whole time she was just in the beginning of the episode she's like, Jen, you're the best, and at the end of the episode she's like, Jen, you're the best, and just go out there, you're the best.
I'm just like,
what the fuck, girl? You have no you are like too good of a friend.
Now I completely forgot that she was even in the second episode. That's how forgettable she was.
And for good reason. She was placed in the second episode, but the plot thickens. So so episode 2, pretty much it starts off with that.
One more thing about the first episode.
Everybody knows now.
I was excited to see. I was like, oh, so this is gonna be the bad guy of the season. Great.
Oh yeah, Titania.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, wait. So like, and then she just gets thrown by a table. Yes. Like, okay, I get it's the Hulk. Can you imagine if what's the bad guy from the original Hulk, the 2008 run?
That's his father. That's the dad.
Oh yeah.
That crazy electrical guy. That's his dad. In the comics, his dad is like a creature thing.
It's not Apocalypse.
Abomination. That's in the 2008 one. I mean, that's in the Edward Norton one.
Yeah, in Edward Norton. Can you imagine if Hulk just threw a car at Abomination and that was a fight scene? That's what I got.
From that whole ending?
I'm just like, bro, okay, I get it. You're tough. You're cool, whatever. But can we at least have a fight scene,
Yeah.
I think I saw more action in the last 5 minutes of the second episode, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, okay, and Spider-Man, they established, like, the original Spider-Man, they established, like, well, I have so much duty, I have a responsibility to do, it's not about me. And they established that over the first movie, like, I don't want to be the good guy, but he's like, no, it's my duty.
Now that I have this ability.
Yeah, and the second one, she's like, I got the vibe of like she was like, I don't really wanna.
Yeah, no, she was definitely like, I don't wanna. But I felt like it was like, not only I don't wanna, but like, do I have to? Because...
Okay, like if she didn't want to, she could have just gone to like the bathroom in the courtroom or wherever, just hidden, turned into She-Hulk, and then changed back, and they would have that secret identity thing, which would have made some sense. I would have gotten that.
Yeah,
okay.
Like if she would have ran to the bathroom, like right when Titania ran in, or like right before she turned, like just leave, leave. I mean, because there'd be people in the hallways too, but it's like, yeah, she like, I mean,
or just like behind the judge's podium or something. I know it'd be super awkward.
Jen, where'd you go? What the fuck? She just comes out.
Is that the Hulk? No, it's a woman Hulk. And then that's when the friends get back, Jen? And then that's when she... And then that's when the fight scene happened. If that happened, I would have accepted the table throw of like, that's like the big bad, whatever. But then she's like, no. I was like it's just like, bro.
Oh shit.
It's like...
That was pretty funny. I mean, I saw the clips of it on like Twitter, and I was like, there's no way. And then watching it, you're like, there's no way. Like, this is what you guys did? Like, you spent how much on this? You all wrote this? Like, what the... So, well, we'll just add it in now. Apparently, the writer of She-Hulk had said that everything that happened in the first episode was supposed to be, like, at the end of the show. So can you imagine if that's how the show ended? If they don't show Titania for the rest of the season, and that was it, and that was supposed to be at the end. So at the end of the show, like, she throws the table and she's like, She-Hulk, attorney at law, and then that's it? You'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah, that would have... Okay, first off, it wasn't a good ending. They just straight up pulled like a Mandarin card, like, I'm the super cool villain. Oh no, I'm just a side character who gets like beaten by 5 seconds. Like, I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
And then like...
Poor Mandarins.
The
multiples.
Yeah. And I don't know, like... I don't understand the end credit scene, by the way.
Oh, at the Hulk by the bulk or the bulk store. Yeah, just and the Steve.
Oh no, it was the Virgin thing.
Virgin cat. Like, I don't understand. Like, why does it fucking matter? Like,
it's like did she go back to the secret island of the Hulk with the Hulk?
Yeah.
And he just like oh yeah, I threw a Hulk. And that's the scene. He's like, oh I threw the table at the supervillain. All right, I'm gonna go have a beer with my cousin.
Yeah.
All right, I'm coming back to the bar. It's like these things are supposed to happen chronologically, right? It's not. It's so messed up. Like the timeline. It's like did Doctor Strange really mess up the timeline this bad? Really?
I know, right? When he was doing everything, it's like She-Hulk just popped into the next scene. He's like, ah, shit, I can't stop. Shut up, Peter. You see, I fucked up. Now I got some I got a female version of Bruce in here. That'd have been funny.
Is she likable? No.
Well, that's all right, Mr. Stark. It'd be cool. Then if the Hulk will have someone that he can be with and that will understand him.
Peter, shut up! You're messing the timeline up even worse.
She's becoming more of a feminist the more you speak.
Oh great, now she's got some stupid villain in this first episode, Peter. Oh great, WandaVision doesn't make sense anymore. I have to fight her now.
Oh man. Alright, so yeah, it pretty much starts off now where she turns into the Hulk in the courtroom. And then episode 2 starts off with, well, everyone knows she's She-Hulk now. Everyone apparently gives her the name She-Hulk. Like, they're like, She-Hulk.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they did that in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They did that. They always do that.
That's I guess the easy trope of getting the character, like, having just the people be like, we're gonna shout out ominous names and you can choose one.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. Ant-Man? I don't want No, you're gonna get Ant-Man. But
We got a better name?
sounds boring as fuck.
You got something better? Tiny Man? No, you don't want Tiny Man.
Call me Pinchers.
Call me Microscopic. No.
Microman? Mini-Man? Mini-Man?
Tiny Man.
So she's now the She-Hulk, and everyone knows. And the one thing I never understood is how the Hulk is like, spandex is your friend, right? Does that mean she has spandex suits?
Yeah.
Because she can turn into the Hulk. When she turns into She-Hulk, she just turns in and shrinks, and it's like she never changes, and it's like, is all her clothes like spandex now?
Yeah,
like,
that was like such a big deal.
It's like I kind of was really hoping to see her rip out of some clothes. I mean, they didn't even have the balls to give a side boob. You didn't even have to show the nipple. You could have just did the side
No, you don't want to.
Shame!
You don't want to
For
see that. You
shame.
don't want to see that. No, trust me. You don't want to see that.
Now she's just what is
No,
she calls her derivative Hulk.
Don't worry. No. Don't worry about the
You can be
spandex.
derivative Hulk.
About the spandex. Don't worry. They got a little tiny tear here just to let you know she was big for a second. And then she got back and oh no, I got a slight tear on my sleeve. Oh no, my pants are fine.
Oh man. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so at this point, her friend is like, go out there. People out here, give them what they want or whatever. And she goes out and talking to people and drinking because she can't get drunk. And she gets. Or I think it's beforehand. She gets fired. Just when she gets fired from her job because, they're like it's a liability or whatever, and you being She-Hulk is like we can't have you be turning into She-Hulk.
Which is a very fair point.
Yeah, I was very like,
I'm like, that's actually a
good
very
job on
realistic-
firing when they show like all the people like not hiring her because she's like, it's like that's the life that Bruce Banner led. Like you get a taste of that shit.
Yeah.
Even though she complained about it and said she was like,
I want to be a lawyer. No, I don't want to be a Hulk.
yeah, it's like you realize like the minute you do something, this is exactly what Bruce was telling you about. This is exactly what he was warning you about, and you were just like, no, it's gonna be fine. I don't gotta turn into the Hulk. And then the minute you turn in because you realize that you could save people, which is I'm sure what he wishes he could do, and he's smart Hulk now, so I don't know why the fuck he isn't.
And it's actually a very fair point. Like he's like, yeah, we had to cut the trial because he was like,
Yeah, he's like makes it a mistrial.
Yeah.
Man, it was genius too. He's like, yeah, I mean, you really had me at that case, even though I made it a mistrial. It's just like, damn, like, bro.
yeah.
There was like the gangster sign, like straight up, like, or the little gangster meme. Like,
Just
I was like,
thug
man.
life, like he had the a cigarette and just like fucking sunglasses, and he's just like
That was that
Snoop
moment.
Dogg plays in the background.
I love, how he ends up hiring her, and he's like, oh yeah, like I want you to work for my superhero division, and she's like, he tells her like, oh, I want you to speak in like Gen form or whatever. Oh no, that's the other guy. The other guy has her, at the party, he has her speak in Gen form, and then he fires her, and she's all sad. Goes through, and then she goes to the next. She goes back to the bar, and that's when the guy hires her. I forgot.
I'm just very, very impressed that a girl of that weight, can handle that much alcohol and understand what's happening. When I get drunk, and like when I get drunk to the level like where I'm just like,
but that's it.
Yeah. If somebody told me I'm fired, I'll be like, oh, I'm fired. Or you're not gonna be like dramatic moment. What? Like
It's
kudos
true.
to her for being a fake drunk or like a heavyweight or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Then the other guy, the guy that made it a mistrial, hires her for his firm. He's like, I want you to be a part of my superhero law division firm.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll only do it if I can choose my own paralegal, which is her best friend. And it's just like, you are the worst because it's like. You can't say that like women, it's so hard for women to get ahead and like incompetent men and like blah blah blah. But it's like you don't even ask for like a raise or like the fucking the office with a view. You ask that like you can choose your own paralegal, which is gonna be like your friend. So as an audience member, the minute she says it, you're like, oh well, she's obviously gonna have her fucking friend here.
Exactly.
Like it's nothing. And then the one guy's like, oh, like you're. What is it when she's at the party and the one guy's like, oh, did you really become a Hulk to like get further up in the company or whatever? And she's like, only you would think that or whatever. And he's just like, it's just like calling it how I see it. It's just like, burn. And it's not wrong.
And it is messed up because that does happen later on in the series.
Yeah. She literally gets the job because she's her She-Hulk. And like she's walking through, so she goes to the new office building and she's like walking through and all these people are just like staring at her. Well, she walks in as normal Jen and then the guy's like, oh, you need to be in like She-Hulk whenever you're at work. And then she realizes like, I'm a diversity hire or like technically a diversity hire because she identifies as a Hulk. She identifies as she and Hulk. So of course she technically is a diversity hire, but given 2022, but she totally fourth wall breaks again. Like she only does it a few times and they're not very good.
Yeah.
But she fourth wall breaks and she's like, oh my god, like I had to. There's probably things that these men have never had to go through what I'm having to go through now. And it's just like, bitch, you're a superhero. You may not want to be, but you're literally the better version of the Hulk. Like, get out of here.
You were literally given super strengths and super. Okay, and like you literally have the power to be the strongest woman on the planet.
You could be a villain. That would be cool. I doubt it, but it would be cool if Marvel made her be a villain near the middle and then like made her be a good guy again. Like she ends up like robbing a store.
Yeah, and also that fourth wall break. I legit thought she was saying this in the company with everybody.
I didn't really. Yeah,
I was like, why is she saying this in front of her now coworkers? Like,
and it's like, oh yeah, shit.
Oh yeah, that's right. She can force wall break. They gotta establish this better. As a screenwriter, I see this and I'm all like, this is no. Who wrote? Like, can you at least change the color of the lens, or at least look back and not show her walking?
Ozzy does improv and he does his own film work, so you know at least he has when he sees things that are just not written well, he's like, that's kind of shit.
Now, hey, some of my favorite movies of all times have bad, editing choices or whatever. But I'll excuse it. I'm like, all right, it's a good movie, whatever. I'm too nitpicky. If the story's good, if I like the characters, if I like the setting, if I like everything about it, if I like most of it about it, I'll like, that was a great movie. I loved it. This one, I'm just like, okay, but why? Like,
it's so true. Then we meet her family, right? So she goes home and like meets we meet the family, or like her uncles or whatever, aunts and just whoever's there. And man, that whole scene was like rough, because it's like you realize again they say the blip doesn't matter, right? So they don't care about the blip. None of that mattered in Endgame. So everyone there is just, they know that Bruce is the Hulk and they fully accept it because he's like, oh, your son didn't destroy a city, or so you're like, wow, that's a good, kind of a low blow, like.
Yeah, it's like way to throw shit on your nephew. Man.
Yeah, like I mean, and he's the smart Hulk now, so there's no reason he can't be like Jen and like, I don't know, mowing the lawn and shit. Like he's helping teach kids like how to read. Like he's smart Hulk now. Like where the fuck?
He invented time travel.
What is he doing? Oh yeah.
This is a success. It's not a meme, guys. He literally made time travel.
The dad is literally trying to like coach her. He's like, oh, like, I just want to let you know it's gonna be okay. And then she starts like rambling about like, losing her job and like dealing with being the Hulk and everything, because I guess now, like, remember, they time gap, so like her family already knows that she turned into She-Hulk already, so she's just at dinner or whatever. But it's like her dad is so cool. Like he is like, they want to talk shit on dads and they want to talk shit on men, but like her dad is so understanding and trying to be there for her, and she's literally just like throwing it back in his face like, nope, I'm like the worst, I have no idea what I'm gonna do, blah 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 blah, life is so fucking dumb now. And it's just like,
and this is literally
you're a superhero.
This is literally a scene after the family that was like her cousins or her uncles or whatever were just giving her garbage for like, it's like, oh, so you got fired?
Yeah.
It's like, and the dad's like, come on, we weren't supposed to talk about that. Come on, guys. He's like, oh, I thought you said to talk about it.
Yeah, he's
like,
so cool. He's a good guy. He's a good dad. I give props to the dad. The dad was the best part.
I was like, wow, what a nice guy. Hey, at least she's got some nice parents. Cool, good for her. Fuck. I'm just, and also, what? Who says, oh, you got fired? Way to go! Like the
way to console your family, bro.
Yeah, if my cousin,
you look like fucking Joe Dirt anyway.
We all have that least favorite cousin. If my least favorite cousin got fired, I wouldn't say, hey, cuz, heard you got fired. That sucks. I'd just be like, hey man, are you okay?
You doing alright? You need, my bad, bro.
Yeah, you need a place to crash.
Hey man, you gotta do better next time. You gotta do better, Senator.
I'd be like, hey, you need a place to crash for like a couple weeks until you like find a job again?
I mean, unless it's a cousin you hate. Maybe it's your third twice removed cousin. But still, like, damn. Yeah. But yeah, it's just totally sad that like the family is so absent-minded about the fact that their son or whoever Bruce is to them, their son, nephew, is like living in a shack. Even though it's a very nice shack that's like worth billions of dollars, he's literally living on an island somewhere. Like again, he is Smart Hulk. There's no reason that he can't be home and that the people can't be like, oh my god, the Hulk, he saved us and he's reformed now. Like fuck off, Abomination. Like that's probably what's gonna happen. The end is probably her gonna try to fucking bring the Hulk and like,
work with Abomination.
have the Hulk on trial of like getting him off of like destroying the cities. Like, that would be ridiculous, but it's like if she's going to stand up for Abomination, it would only make sense for her to stand up for the Hulk. But
Exactly.
so right after that, like, you know, the family and everything is absolutely ridiculous. They totally throw, like we say, they totally kind of shit on the Hulk, and it's so unfair.
Yeah.
She's just the bestest ever. But
Yeah.
she gets the job, and she's, you know, working as a new superhero attorney at law, and her first fucking case is to defend Blonsky. The Abomination.
Yeah.
Now you keep saying Apocalypse. We're not discussing X-Men. Oh, what is it? Mutants. Because now it's not X-Men because it's racist to say it.
Wait,
But-
racist? What do you mean
Yeah,
sexist?
the sexist. Yeah, something like that. But I'm pretty sure.
I was like, wait, what race is X? What's going on?
Hey man, I'm pretty sure X is a race somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
So, you know, she has to defend Blonsky, and it's like, I'm not gonna say that it was a bad idea, because it's like, wow, who else is she gonna defend? I guess everyone else is pretty much dead.
I do like that. I actually kind of like that. I'm like,
Imagine she's trying to defend Thanos,
he comes back from in dust.
like a multiversal one. He's trying to like be cool with everybody.
I am not the real Thanos. Why did you think I want to wipe half of you out?
I heard that I had a version of myself here. I figured I'd come and check it out, and it seems like I should not have.
Apparently, I did some messed up things. And they made a ice cream shop about me in Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, can you imagine making an ice cream shop for a man? They called it Infinity. What was it? Something cones.
Yeah, I don't remember that new Asgard.
The new Asgard they made. Can you imagine somebody wipes out half the population? They're just like, hey, let's make a ice cream shop about that.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty heartless. Because I'm heartless. But yeah, so she has to defend Blonsky, and like, so she goes to meet him, and like, so Tim Roth is awesome. I mean, the guy that plays Abomination, like, he's a great actor. So his scene was pretty cool, and I love how he like, even he belittles the Hulk. He's like, yeah, like he was the Hulk. He's not really the Hulk anymore, is he? And it's just like, damn, like,
It's like, bro, you fought the guy, and you literally, like, I was rooting for you. I was like, I heard you come in. I'm like, okay, I didn't expect that. Kudos to that. That's interesting. I'll give it a shot. And then the first thing, okay, I like how she's like, I need to be professional. And when she's in the jail, she's cracking jokes the entire time.
And the guy's like, we're in a jail. It's like, geez, fourth wall breaker. Like, we get it. You're funny.
It's like, wait, your whole thing was that you were trying to be this serious, taken at face value of like, and you're just like, hey, what happens if I go wild in there? And she's just like, please, or I forgot the joke.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, this is a prison. It's like,
so pretty much Blonsky's like, yeah, you know, I'm reformed. I do haikus, and I wrote haikus about all my victims. And I was just like, wow, man, this is ridiculous. I mean, it sounds like bullshit. Like, it just, like, I'm like, there's no way. Like, yeah, all right, fine, whatever, you're reformed. And then she says she'll think about it or whatever, and so she calls up Bruce, and yeah, she's like trying to tell him like, oh, you know, I'm gonna like, I was talking to a Blonsky, and like, he's Abomination, and I know that you guys had a past, but like, they want me to defend him for my job, and like, blah blah. Like, I'm not trying. I want to do it if you're okay with it. And it's just like, can you just kick the Hulk in the balls like any more at this point? Like, we're only 2 episodes in, and it's like, he's about to just dip out.
They did have one good joke in there that I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Which one?
It was when he was like, oh yeah, no, that was years ago. I was a different person, literally.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. I like
This is kind of funny. Yeah, he wrote me a haiku. It was really sweet.
And I did like that. I did see the thing that was like, he thought he was a good guy, and I'm like, I actually like that. Like, it's a point of view of like, he was a good guy, but he was just trying to take down the Hulk, and now the Hulk, who was the government was targeting, is now the being praised.
Yeah,
and everything.
I did see. I right when he said that, I immediately saw where it was going. I was like, of course she's gonna defend him. She's gonna say that, like, you know, him turning into Abomination was like the government's fault. So it's totally good. Like, he was supposed to be Captain America, and Captain America came out great, but like sometimes it doesn't work out and you get an Abomination. It's like, I could totally see how it's gonna go, but it's just like, man, Like that, like what the? That's why I say, like, I could totally see at the end them being like, oh, we're bringing in the new client, and it's like Bruce Banner as the Hulk, or like, and they're like, and then that's how it's gonna end with her like having to, you know, make him get off of like, you know, terrorizing the city or whatever. But it's totally just unfair that she just totally just, like I said, she brushes him off. I'm gonna fucking, you know, defend Blonsky, and then the whole time he's on a spaceship.
Okay, can you imagine? Okay, what kind of monster?
Good cell reception.
Yeah, what kind of monster calls their cousin right before they're going to freaking space?
I mean, you'd think he would call her before he got on the ship.
Yeah, it would have been cool if he just like, oh yeah, I gotta go because I'm gonna be out of this world or something, you know? Just like, and then like he
add
has
more quirkiness to
and
it.
Then he's like, and then she could just like, did he just one line out of a phone call? Or something?
Man.
And then that would have, but no, he just straight up like, hey, I'll catch you later. I'm like, wait, what kind of cell signal you got going on? Verizon ain't even that good, man.
So apparently they were saying that it was supposed to be like Skaar or whatever. The Hulk's son is supposed to be the guy that's flying the ship. So it's like, even if it's Hulk's son, when the ship first lands in front of the fucking cars in the beginning in the first episode and they crash, shouldn't the ship have went and been like, hey, are you guys okay? Just flies away, comes back later, and then he's like, hey, Bruce, really sorry that you guys got in the accident, but like I had got a call myself, so I just couldn't stop and like see if everything was okay because I had to leave. Like, it really didn't make any sense.
No, but then Bruce wouldn't leave for the sake of that joke.
Yeah, that's true. They wouldn't have been able to make that scene happen. It was perfect. He's like, yeah, I won't be back for like a while. And it's like, and you're like, wait, what? Like, I think at that part I was like, what? Like, I was very like, I want to see more. I want to see more because I care about the Hulk, not She-Hulk. I want to see where the fuck he's going. He's in space. Where is he going? I need to know.
Yeah, they pulled a Thor Ragnarok, you know? I mean, the Thor Love and Thunder, you know? Hey, Guardians of the Galaxy, we're going...
yeah,
like,
very true.
We're going to go somewhere really cool. Oh, I'm going back to Earth. We're going back to Earth to see my girlfriend. It's like, bro, why does everyone have to have powers in this universe? Can we have one normal character?
Man, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He goes out to space, and then, of course, you know, she's, like, set on now to, like, defend him. And then, of course... she turns on the news or whatever, and it turns out that Jablonski broke out of prison because Wong takes him out. And if you remember the Multiverse of Madness and their cage fighting, apparently Wong takes him out of the prison. They go cage fighting, and the people from Shang-Chi, or the girl in Shang-Chi, I guess, is the one recording it, so it all connects. But she records the fight, or someone there records the fight, and then they show it on the news, and it's like, oh no, like, he's fighting in some cage-matched arena, and it's just like, and she's like, oh shit.
Wasn't there, like, a huge thing in Shang-Chi of, like, secrecy and keeping this, like a secret from everybody? And they're just like, and it's not that news.
Now, yeah, like, it's like something didn't make sense there, like, you guys, someone slept. But again, like what I'd say, like they were recording it, so it's like, but I don't remember, like when they have that, I thought it was like, I don't even remember Shang-Chi that much, to be honest, but I thought when they were having that fight, they were like somewhere else, or like, I forget that they were like on Earth. Yeah. But it's like, I forget, like I thought they were somewhere else because Abomination's there, so of course people are going to be like, this is freaking, there's a monster here. Yeah. But it's like, nah, yeah, they were in like Harlem or somewhere, like they weren't anywhere special.
I think, yeah.
Shang-Chi was horrible. I don't really remember it. All I remember is Falcor.
I just remember that bad CGI.
Yeah, I just love the dragon. Honestly. Yeah. But yeah, and then that's pretty much where it ends, with her finding out that he's like left, so it's like gonna make her defending him even harder, and it's just gonna, we'll see how she's probably gonna be like, oh, he cage matches, like obviously he has to make money.
In prison, yeah, you gotta make them cigarettes don't hold up in prison anymore.
Fuck yeah, in a superhero prison, it's all about money when you get out, you know. It's him and his like 6 lovers or whatever that he was talking to on Tinder.
It's gotta pay for those haikus somehow.
Yeah, right, all that haiku paper. But yeah, so it was a ridiculous show, right? Like, I couldn't believe it. And then the post-credit scenes of the second episode, at the end of that, was like her helping out the family, and I won't say I will say she looked kind of hot though, and she's like helping out the family with carrying the water, and like helping them put the TV up. She's like lifting the car, and I was like, damn girl, you fine. Like,
It's like, didn't you just hate your family though?
Yeah, she was like talking shit the whole time, and now she's like, all right, I guess I'll just help you guys out. Because they're like I would have been like, hell no, I'm not helping you guys out. Like, the heck, you put your own TV up. Like, you can do it. You've done it before. Like. But for the sake of the joke, it's like, oh, we're just gonna have her like carrying 8 jugs of water.
Regular people don't do that.
Regular women can't do that. Women now like, oh, what, you think I'm She-Hulk? That's. What, you think I'm just gonna be like She-Hulk? It's like, girl, you're totally acting like She-Hulk right now. Oh, you're saying I'm angry and green? Yes. Yes.
She's She-Hulk, not She-Hulk. Come on.
Yeah, the bulk store, like, man, it's ridiculous. So yeah, it's a pretty raw show, but we were gonna get into some. I had some stuff saved just to discuss real quick, of pretty much what we think is just our takes on some things that people were talking about. So, like we had said, She-Hulk had a Tinder. I don't know why. Disney. This is a Disney Marvel. Like, why? Like, are you trying to... Obviously, this is a superhero movie for kids and adults, but are kids supposed to know that She-Hulk is on Tinder?
Yeah, it's... Okay.
I don't understand.
It's, like, I get it. There's dommy mommies out there or whatever, you know? Like, that are just, like, out there, and that's fine. But, like,
Dommy mommies?
Yeah, I don't know the term of it. I'm not a sexual deviant. I don't know.
You're coining Dommy mommies. Oh, shit.
You ever have a fantasy about the Green Giant?
I will now. Oh, my gosh. It's a Gundam had like he had a great picture of him in between She-Hulk's thighs, and then one of her like sitting on his face. And it's like, yeah, that's probably what a lot of people probably low-key want. And it's like, you know what, we're not going to get it, but I guess I'm fine with that.
They want that fantasy of the boys where, like, you seen The Boys, right? Mm-hmm. Where, like, they get crushed underneath that girl or whatever.
Which one? The
one who was, like, married. No. There was, like, this scene. I forgot the name of the superhero. But, like, it was, like, married to, like, this one, like, big super who was super rich. Mm-hmm. And she has like super strength, and she crushes the guy between her thighs or something.
Oh dang! I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he came though.
What?
But yeah, it's very ridiculous. Like when you think about it, you know, like again, this is supposed to be a Disney Marvel product, and you're over here promoting that She-Hulk is on Tinder. Like it's just, I don't know. It's pretty weird. And then they were, you know, speaking of just the crazy women. They had said that the star of She-Hulk said that she wished that she could defend Wanda.
Wait, what? What? Wait, like defend her, like saying she's right?
She was right all along, okay? She lost her husband. She lost her invisible children.
Wanda is
women grieve.
Wanda is my favorite woman in the MCU. You know, she's awesome. She's amazing. She is not the good guy in the multiverse. She kills people. Like she literally.
She killed people.
Yeah.
Like if any of you don't know the comics and stuff, and you've only watched the movies, fine. But Wanda did kill people. She did kill people.
She killed Jim from The Office, stretched him into Play-Doh spaghetti, and just popped his head after he's like, I got a family. Like what kind of person does? You're obviously the villain. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine her just being like, Your Honor, my client here, she didn't want to read the Darkhold. The Darkhold wanted to be read. The Darkhold secrets needed to be exposed. Someone needed to know the contents of the book. But she was the only one, Your Honor, that could withstand. But didn't Dr. Strange... We don't talk about Dr. Strange.
Dr. Strange is
He is a straight white male. I cannot discuss this man.
Have you guys seen Multiverse of Madness? No. Because you know why? Doesn't matter.
I mean, for what it's worth, I can also see if you're like, oh, Your Honor, Wanda here, you know, she's also grieving. You know, she lost her brother, right? She lost her brother 5 movies and 3 shows ago.
She lost her mom and her dad at a young age. She lost her brother, and she didn't start going like crazy until she lost her sex robot man. Come on, like really?
And even then, I still don't understand why she didn't go to another multiverse and take Vision from that multiverse,
or go to
then be with him,
or go to a universe. Yeah, go to a universe where there is a Vision and 2 children of theirs. That Wanda's dead. That would have been fine.
Yeah, where the Wanda in that universe died. If there's fucking infinite universes.
Yeah, but we have never seen the new Marvel spotlight on America Chavez, you know?
And her 2 moms.
I forgot about the 2 moms. She's just so forgettable. I forgot about her entire character.
She's such a star, though.
They're trying so hard. It's like... I was like, I remember watching that movie, and I was with my dad, and we saw it, and and she's like, so what do you think about that girl? What girl? You mean Scarlet Witch? No, the one that was with Doctor Strange. I'm like, oh, that's right. He had a sidekick that went through multiverses.
I mean, I will say it's funny how they call it the multiverse of madness, and they went to like one or like I would say 2. I mean, but when they flew through all of them, it's like, man, y'all suck. Like you couldn't stop in each one. You had to like just kind of soar through them all. Like, all right, whatever.
A better title would have been the Universe of Madness, and then it could have like said another movie would have been the Multiverse, where they establish it like there's more than one. Like it would have been wait, I thought there was only 2. No, there's millions upon millions upon billions upon trillions.
Well, I mean, obviously, what's his name?
Doctor Strange?
No, the one black guy from Loki.
Black Panther? Oh.
No, from Loki.
Oh.
The bad guy. I forgot his name. Or Kang.
Kang.
It was Kang all along. It's Kang's. He was like, nah, you can't go to this universe. Can't go to this one. Nah, fucking can't go to these. These are mine. He's like, you can go to those ones. But you cannot go to these universes.
Wait, why not? Just, dude, stop. That's for like 20 years from now when we run out of shit to come up with.
But alright, so then what we'll end it on is, so apparently the whole like Marvel slate that's coming out, right? Like we have all these Marvel movies and stuff coming out, and like all these other shows, Loki season 2, the Marvels, Blade, all that shit. But in spring of 2024, we will have Daredevil Born Again. That's when we're gonna have the Daredevil Disney Plus show. Apparently it's supposed to be like fucking 18 episodes, whatever. So we're gonna have like 3 to 4 fucking months of like Daredevil. But in the show, the showrunners said that they were going to have a softer version of Matt Murdock, and that that we're gonna have Charlie Cox, the actor, play Daredevil completely different, or a different side of him than he did in the Netflix Daredevil show.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Right? Like, even though everyone loved the Netflix Daredevil show, we're going to completely retcon it and rechange his character to fit, as they say, the tone of She-Hulk.
Yeah, why not make the Punisher PG? Why not?
Starring Neil Patrick Harris as the Punisher. Rated PG.
In this one, his family lives.
It's like a sing-along and they live. Oh, man.
We are happy together.
But yeah, so, I mean, I know that he's got like his new suit, and they're supposed to have like the new original suit for him, but it's just like, man, I really hope that they don't ruin Daredevil. Like, I know they will, because that's what Disney and Marvel are doing right now, but like, man, like you had said in No Way Home, they used him very sparingly. Like, it was, very, very well done of just kind of having him pop up and be there and fucking catching something all cool because he's got fast reflexes.
I'm a really good lawyer.
I
laughed at that joke. I was like, okay, you got me there.
Yeah, that was pretty sturdy, pretty solid of a line.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like, man, he's just gonna be in the courtroom. But I'm hoping that they at least show like him fighting cool. They'll obviously have some banter between him and She-Hulk. Maybe he's gonna like teach her how to lawyer, teach her how to lawyer, and teach her how to hero, teach her how to hero.
There's going to be one musical number in one of these shows.
Well, apparently the Marvels is supposed to be a musical. So Captain Marvel 2 the Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. It's the second one's going to be called The Marvels, and it's supposedly going to be a musical, like the Joker 2.
What?
For whatever reason, I don't know. And I'm more or less down for the Joker musical. It should be interesting, but the Marvels musical, I don't think that really needs to happen because one, Brie Larson was in. You remember Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Oh yeah.
So she was the singer. She was the when they sing Black Sheep. But it's like, just because she sang that like 10, 15 years ago doesn't mean I want to see her sing throughout a whole movie as Captain Marvel.
Yeah, come on, a lot's changed. Brie Larson was likable back then.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not really down to just see her up there singing in the... I just not down.
No.
I'd rather just watch her YouTube videos for free. And even then, I'd rather not. Like, you know, that. But that's just me. But so, in She-Hulk, when Daredevil shows himself... I'm pretty sure Miss Marvel's probably going to make... At the end of Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel made a cameo, and it was pretty whack. So I'm pretty sure at the end of this one, it'd be funny if Captain Marvel also makes a cameo. Just because they're like, women power. Or like, fucking, I don't know, Riri Williams shows up, or...
That she's got help.
The female Black Panther will probably show up and just be like, oh, make sure you watch Wakanda Forever, because that's the next movie, and you're just going to be like... Alright, I guess. It's gonna be the same difference. But when he actually does show up, I'm very sure that most of it is probably gonna be, you know, either back and forth talk or her being a better lawyer than him, but him showing her how to fight. Like, you know, being able to be like, oh, well, obviously you're not a good, you know, you can throw people around, but you're not like, you need to learn some fighting skills. And then she's gonna be like, well, I can fucking destroy you in the courtroom. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be very like, I mean, I guess, like, do we really care? But I guess they'll make us care. You know?
I don't care anymore. Like, when I saw the Eternals, I'm like...
I didn't actually see it. I haven't seen Eternals yet.
It's not good.
No.
It's probably the worst.
I probably won't watch it. I'm probably not gonna watch it.
It's either the worst or the second worst movie in the MCU. And I was like, this would have been a lot better if this was a show. Because, like, you're just jamming 8 characters I've never seen before, trying to make me feel...
That the whole time they decided to, like, not do anything? They're just like, we were just watching, and, yeah, like, we weren't supposed to intervene. It's like, wait, you guys care about humanity, but you watch us all die? Like, I guess it's supposed to be like, what? Because, again, I've never seen it, but I'm going to assume that humanity is, like, selfish, so we're like, how come you don't care about us? And they're like, you know, there's, like, infinite galaxies, right?
It's like...
We're the Eternals. We last forever.
It's like, do you realize how meaningless this is?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, pretty much. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see when I watch superheroes. Like, see how pointless my life is? And I'm just like, oh, why? Why would you show this to me? You think I paid for this? I want to feel good.
I want an action superhero movie. I don't want to feel sad about humanity.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Thanos do the snap again.
Just wipe out 50% of us. That would have been that was a happy ending. Oh.
Alright, well, we'll end it there. I don't know how long we've been going, but I feel like we've been going pretty good. But so that was the first 2 episodes. I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. I'll keep watching it, but I don't want to. Rather not.
I'd give it half a She-Hulk out of 5.
Right? I give it the she.
That's 50% of
Oh yeah, that's what he said. I'd only give it the she. 50%. He'd give it a 5 because I feel like when Ant-Man 3 comes out, a lot of people are gonna be like, you know what, Ant-Man is alright. Because I feel like a lot of people say that they love Ant-Man, but no one really cares. They just like Paul Rudd, or they give Paul Rudd props.
I liked Ant-Man 2. Ant-Man 1 was fine.
I don't really remember Ant-Man 2. I remember the first one more than the second one.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first one.
I don't know.
I don't remember the second one.
It's because it had such a crappy villain in the second one.
Who was the villain in the second one?
It was Ghost.
It was a ghost. That's probably why I don't remember. It wasn't even. It was a wisp of nothing.
Come on, it was
Morbius?
No, not Morbius. The Matrix. What's his name?
Morpheus?
Morpheus. I almost said Morbius. I was like, wait a minute, no.
I gotta rewatch it. I honestly don't remember shit about Ant-Man 2.
I like the. It was,
I remember the Wasp, but I don't remember anything about the movie.
I think Ant-Man was a better made movie. I just liked Ant-Man 2 because it was funnier and it had some clever action. Yeah. I think that it was like the visuals were way better in the first one when he's just like, you know, fighting on on Thomas the Train, and he just like, you don't remember Ant-Man when he's just like
the first one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When they're in the, I'm like thinking of like a real, when he's on the toys. Yeah.
When he's fighting Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, the Yellow Jacket on the that I remember. See, I remember the first one, but I cannot remember the second one to save my life.
In the second one, they're fighting like down the streets of San Francisco.
I remember is that when they're in the van? The van shrinks.
Yes.
Or was that the first one?
Wait, the van shrinking.
Remember they're like driving and then they shrink the van and they're like driving in the van with their hands all small?
That was the second one.
That was the second one? Okay. That's like all I really remember.
I think it had my favorite joke in the MCU.
I remember What If's Yellow Jacket with Hank Pym more than I remember the second episode.
Jesus.
When he's fighting Samuel Jackson.
You remember what? Whoa, wait, what?
Remember when
I haven't seen What If.
Oh, you never seen What If? Oh man, you gotta watch What If. It's so good.
You gotta watch.
I won't spoil it for you, but you gotta watch it.
I know that they fight zombies, and then instead of and Doctor Strange, instead of losing his hands, he loses his heart.
Yep, he becomes like when he becomes Evil Strange. It's actually the way it's done, pretty sick. Won't lie. And then they pay it off in the Multiverse of Madness because he's like they in that universe, like, oh, I destroyed this universe. And you're like, oh no. Which real quick, that made sense in Multiverse of Madness, that whole fight between both Strangers, because it's like, technically, if old Strange has been living there for years, shouldn't he be like super evil and powerful and be able to overtake the R Strange? Like, it makes no sense for him to be able to kill him so easily. Like, it's just like, man, get out of here. Like,
they needed a musical battle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like... When my friend told me, oh, there's a music fight in Doctor Strange.
I forgot about that. That was so weird. It was like
weird.
strumming, and they're like doing weird, like they're playing the cello, like an air cello.
As a musician, I dig it. When he's like, oh, there's a musical fight. I was like, wait, so there's like a rap battle? Like, no.
There's a rap battle? No.
It's like, what is it gonna be like? I'm Strange. So hit the main.
Oh shit.
Like, what do you mean? It's like, and then it's like, oh, no, trust me, you're gonna love it. I was like, hey, I didn't love it, but I appreciated it.
Oh man. All right. On that note, we'll go ahead and end it. We're gonna fall off the tracks completely at this point.
We're gonna go into
multiverse territory. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out SheHulk. I mean, episode 3 will be next week, so tune on in. This has been Ozzy. Thank you so much, man, for joining me. You can go ahead and give your out, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I'm Ozzy. Follow me on This Ain't Philosophy Instagram.
I'll tag him up top.
Heck yeah. There.
But yeah, thank you so much, guys, and peace, and the multiverse is vast, and we'll see how the next Avengers movie turns out.
Probably garbage.
I forgot how the theme song goes. What's the Avengers theme song? Oh, you know what's funny? At the beginning of the second episode, I don't know if you caught when the Marvel thing is coming up and they show all the characters. One of the last few characters they show is like female Thor, like very prominent, and then they show Miss Marvel, and you're just kind of like, what the fuck? And then they show like Iron Man Snap right at the corner, and you're just like, man, they just fucked over every other character except for like the new ones, which like sucked. So.
They straight up killed a lady Thor. I forgot her name.
Yeah, they did. So it's like she ain't even gonna.
She's not gonna. If you're gonna do that, can you at least give like Iron Man when he does the snap? You know, like show him like when he does it.
No, he does. Like I think they show him like literally like a. But it's like they show it like last. They should have showed that forefront, like instead of like Miss Marvel. But like whatever. But anyway, we're out of here. Deuces, guys.